Welcome back to my channel and thank you for being here. In today's video, I'm taking you through my Sunday week prep, but this is a little different because I was out of town until 4 p.m. on Sunday. So the weekend before, I cooked and froze meals. My week prep here ended up being on 2 Sundays and a Friday, and also a Monday I forgot about. The first Sunday was food. I made quinoa and roasted veggies for lunch, then a tofu curry and brown rice for dinner. Let's get the quinoa cooking. Get out the cauliflower, carrots, and Brussels sprouts for lunch prep. I don't think my parents ever peeled carrots, but I heard at some point you're supposed to, so now that's what I do. Cut these into equal-ish sized pieces. The quinoa is boiling over. Love it. Equal-ish sized pieces here too. I am terrible at cutting cauliflower. I skipped cutting the Brussels sprouts, probably for the best. I always roast veggies in olive oil, season them with some salt, ground cloves, and ginger. Thank you, Edgar. Give it a good mix and put it in the oven. I usually have the oven at 375 degrees and cook for 30 minutes, give or take. Once done, they go into these 1-cup freezer containers. I already had the beans and rice in the freezer. I'm just using the open spot here. Lids on, and into the freezer they go. Somewhere. I have a lot in the freezer right now because most of it will be eaten in the 2 weeks before my vacation. On to the next meal. I'm getting some rice started to go with the curry. Into the rice cooker it goes. We'll see if this one boils through the lid. I'm going to press the tofu to get a bunch of liquid out. I've seen other ways of doing this: freezing, microwaving, boiling in something, baking soda maybe. I'm probably wrong on that. I have the press, so I use the press and it works just fine for me. And yes, that piece is supposed to come off, just not right then. I don't cut broccoli, I just rip it apart into bite-sized pieces. I followed a recipe for the curry. I'm not fancy enough to use shallots on my own. Also, I love when a recipe calls for shallots because I do not like onions. I know they're good for you, but I'm over them. And if I cut them into smaller pieces, then there are more pieces to eat, so that doesn't work for me either. We're going to throw a little ginger in there as well. I'm following a recipe, so I probably shouldn't narrate what I'm doing along the way, but I will link said recipe below. Once done, the curry also goes into these freezer containers. I think there's a better name for these, but that's my name for them. Rice is also going in the freezer, and we are done with today's work for next week. Yes, I will thank myself later. Moving on to Friday morning, I took the sheets off my bed, but left the covers on so my cat can sleep there all day. Washed a load of whites, and put them in the dryer before going to work. Fridays I only work 5 to 6 hours, so I came home to fold and put away the laundry. Then I went through the task of remaking my bed. I did not realize this takes me so long, 9.5 minutes. While making this video, parts of me want to think that I do so much to get ready for the week, but this is literally what I usually do in one day for an entire week, more or less, and it takes me about 5 hours, including what's in the rest of this video. Like, I just made food that lasted me 9 meals, and in some houses it would last 1 or 2. I do 6 loads of laundry a month, sometimes 7 if I have enough hand wash stuff because I run that on a quick wash cycle. And be so for real, that is not much laundry. Like, calm down, you're just being an adult. This is past me taking care of future me, which I super appreciate. When I don't do this, I get very annoyed and have to change my schedule on other days to make up for being an idiot because I 100% know better. Sometimes I just choose to ignore that. This is the actual Sunday I started prepping for a week ago. I did not previously make enough rice, so I made more today. Washed and dried my hair and had a great time listening to some music. This doesn't really count as week prep since I do wash my hair twice a week, but switching from Monday mornings to Sunday afternoons starts the week off a little better, so I'm including it. Don't forget that dance party. I forgot to film starting my weekly clothes laundry, but here's me putting it in the dryer and sorting out what hang dries. Other than not hand washing, because I have too many pieces of clothing for that now, I do actually follow washing instructions. Putting the rice into containers for lunch, and it boiled over onto the floor and counter, so that was fun. Well, this is a terrible angle, but we got there. I also made smoothies for a snack, and they are my current favorite. I've made them a few weeks in a row. Frozen strawberries, maybe 2 cups, but they are whole strawberries, so a lot of that is air. A spoonful of almond butter, a large spoonful. A scoop of protein powder, I'm using the Naked Rice protein powder. And I'm making a mess of the yogurt, but a small container of Greek yogurt, vanilla, or strawberry, and a cup-ish of milk. I didn't measure, it just looked good in the blender. I split these into 2 servings, but could easily have drank all of it in 5 minutes or less. They're so good. Almost done. I pick out my clothes for the week, both work clothes and workout clothes, to make my life easier, though this looks difficult right now. My closet looks messy from this angle. I might work on that when I'm back from vacation. There's also just a lot packed in here, so maybe it is what it is. I was looking at this clip wondering why I'm wearing a different colored sweatshirt, but I finished putting away laundry on Monday evening, and that's why. And since that's a weird spot to end, here is Edgar, and there goes Edgar.